Son of a
glitch.
Super Mario Bros. 3, a favourite among many retro video game players and a classic of its time, and yet there exist some glitches which have to be seen to be appreciated, so let's go! Whenever Big Mario is crouched beneath a block, the game is programmed to push you horizontally right so you're not stuck underneath it, and so there are a few shortcuts in the game that exploit this, but also places you can get stuck. For instance, in World 1-1, after hitting the P switch and then flying up and into the green pipe, there's a bonus room where you can get stuck if you quickly slide underneath the coin blocks. You're taken to the far right of the screen, and then the only way to exit the world is if you wait for the timer to run out. In the World 1 Fortress, there's a wall by the first door that you can glitch through by crouch jumping at a specific part of the wall, and you'll slide into the boss room, which is a tricky but satisfying shortcut. And in the World 8 Castle, if you use a P-wing, there are a couple of shortcuts you can pull off. Hit this hidden block with the 1-up inside, and then crouch and fly between the block and the ceiling to pass straight through this wall. In the room with the fireballs, perform the same crouch and fly motion between the Bowser statue and the ceiling to pass through this wall and enter the other room. Pretty cool, even if it takes a really long time to get to the other side. Okay! Also, not to worry if you don't have a P-wing, as these tricks can be pulled off without one, just a heck of a lot harder to do. Another cool use of this particular glitch is in World 7-9. Time your crouch jumps correctly and you can use this glitch to go through these pipes, skipping a lot of this stage. And in World 7-1 you don't even need to crouch jump, just jump at the specific part of the wall and you'll pass straight through it, skipping the entire stage. Throughout the game there are these white blocks that if you crouch on them for long enough you'll pass through them and then you're placed behind the stage. Now this is intended in the game to hide certain secrets, but it can lead to some interesting glitches. In World 3-9, crouch to get behind this white block and then carefully avoiding the enemies, go to break these blocks and head for the green pipe. Because you're now technically still behind the main stage, Mario appears invisible if only for the bubbles, and his outline can be seen through the enemies. He's also unable to be hurt by them, lucky for him. A similar glitch occurs in World 5-7. Go down this green pipe with the piranha plant and then at the other end, crouch on this white block. Once you're behind it, quickly make the jumps needed to reach the pipe at the top of the stage. Now on the other side, you'll notice the enemies won't hurt you, as again you're still behind the main stage, meaning they don't interact with you in the usual way. Moving on, when you use a P-wing and jump on the quicksand like this in World 2, Mario will airwalk, which looks pretty cool and also ridiculous at the same time. This is an odd glitch that happens in World 3-6 involving a block. When hit slightly off screen with a red shell, a bush sprite on this platform will turn into a green block, but it still behaves like the other bush sprites and cannot be smashed. The Japanese version of the game features a glitch where using the warp whistle on a canoe in World 3 has an odd effect when you reach the warp zone. You're able to go off the island, but once you do, you're not able to get back on it and you're stuck in the water. But it gets stranger when you venture further right and find a black glitched void. Again, this is a Japanese only glitch and was fixed in the other releases. A random glitch now in World 2-5. Take this secret vine up to the clouds and then take the pipe into the bonus room. Exit that room and then hit the block on the far right to produce a mushroom, but don't grab it. Instead, have it follow you to the end of the stage and then hit the roulette box to finish. Mario will exit right as usual and the mushroom will follow you, but when it goes off screen, it will cause this glitch where a messed up Mario sprite will power up, return to normal, and then exit right again. In World 5-9, a small Mario hit the block with the mushroom near the Paragoomba, and then when it's sliding along, bump the mushroom by jumping at another block and the Paragoomba will die. Whoops. And in World 1-2 you can jump through this P-switch as small Mario. Okay, let's talk Tanuki suit glitches. In World 5-3, with a Tanuki suit, grab a Spiny and then head left to take out the green shoe and then have it land on you. This glitches out Mario's sprite, making the shoe invisible and Mario's suit black. If you hit down and B on the top of a pipe with a Tanuki suit, Mario will turn grey when he enters the pipe, but return to normal when he exits it. If you stand on top of the ice blocks you can pick up and have a green shoe right next to them, Mario will turn grey again. In World 5-2, turn into a statue on the slope and this will happen. And if you turn into a statue on a vine, Mario will once again turn grey when you climb up. In World 7-8 with a Tanuki suit on, hit this giant block in a secret room. When the hammer suit jumps out, stand where you think it'll land and press down and B to turn into a statue. This will turn Mario's hammer suit grey, but you're now stuck in this room as you cannot enter any pipes. In World 6-10, hit the giant block, get on the slope, and when you collect the Hammer Brothers suit, hold down. Mario will now slide down a slope in a Hammer Brothers suit, which isn't possible usually, and you'll see an unused sprite still left in the game. In the World 3 Fortress, if you pick the wrong door, press up again at a frame perfect time to be warped back to the Grey Pipe, and doing this with doors 3 and 4 warp you instantly to the boss room. In World 6-10, if you use a star before entering the stage and make it all the way to this vine before the star runs out, jump onto the vine and Mario will continue to somersault as you climb it. When attempting the same thing in World 3-8, I had this interesting glitch happen where I didn't quite make it to the vine in time, but the rest of the vine didn't actually spawn properly. In World 5-1, using a P-Wing, fly directly up to the pipe above at the top of the stage. Make your way through the next area and into the pipe to get to these secret 1-up blocks. Hit the blocks to produce a 1-up mushroom and then hit another one and the first mushroom will disappear. This is because the game doesn't allow more than one item on screen at any one time. In World 7, using a P-Wing or by any other means, fly up to this pipe to find you'll get hurt by an invisible muncher, which will kill you if you stand around long enough. Why is it there? Nobody knows. In any fight with a Boom Boom that can fly, if you're using a P-Wing, stay above him until he swoops at you and there's a good chance he'll fly straight through the ceiling. He's not coming back, is he? And because you have to beat him to clear the fortress, you'll be stuck in here until the time runs out. In the final fight with Bowser, if you fly over the wall on your left using a P-Wing and go all the way over to the other side, you'll find the room is copied, but now Bowser won't breathe fire, making this fight way easier. Now you can be stood right next to Bowser while he just breathes all over you. That's just beautiful. In World 3-9, if you jump in between this ice block and the pipe and press down to enter the pipe, you do so in a glitched way, but when you exit at the other end, Mario will be stuck in the pipe. You're still able to scroll the screen even to the point where you're off the stage, but you won't be able to progress normally through the rest of it. And finally, in World 7-1, an amazing exploit has been discovered, but it's in no way simple. This trick involves the pipe entry glitch that takes you out of bounds, where a glitched tile and enemy expositions are used to execute arbitrary code to jump straight to the ending. Touching an invisible glitched tile makes the processor try to update memory outside of the normal tile data at an address that reprograms how the processor interprets addresses. This causes execution to jump to an unintended area of the ROM and execute incorrect instructions. Eventually the stack overflows and it starts executing RAM instructions beginning at a certain address which is just before the location of the player and enemy's X values. To get to the ending, 3 consecutive X values are needed which come from the enemies on screen and their X positions. By having these values and then using the pipe glitch in this way, Mario is taken out of bounds and eventually to the end of the game, skipping the entirety of World 8. That's pretty mind-blowing. And that about wraps up Super Mario Bros. 3 and this episode. And if you like this episode, hit that like button, share it with everyone you know and love, but most importantly, please subscribe if you want to see more from the series.